over me like I wasn't a good song. I remember
Wasn't a good
that,
song.
you know.
I like that.
So I waited. I said, and I'm like, now let me get my stuff together. Let me get residual income. So I secured me. So now I didn't need to be in a relationship because somebody. That way, no one could ever say you didn't have nothing when I got with you. That's the one thing men hate. For one, be like, when I met you, you didn't have this, you didn't have this, because that's ownership. That's not relationship. And so I didn't want to be in that. And I know tons of men that don't want to be that. You want to evolve, and then when you have options, then you can choose. You finally know what you want now. You know what to evaluate in a woman. Can you love me if I didn't have those things? Can you
So
support
I'm
me?
gonna go
Can you
back to my
encourage me?
original
Can you hold me
question.
accountable?
Are you single? Because you still
Yes,
didn't answer
yes.
that
I was
question.
saying yes. I said after
okay.
divorce. Yeah.
Okay, I'm just asking.
Sassy
You still
wanna
hadn't
know.
asked that question. No, I know people that are single. That okay.
Oh, I did. Yeah, I thought I did. 3
No, I'm
times.
asking
No,
that because
he
I know we got
did.
some.
I said
single-
yeah. I said
You went all the way around. the
yeah.
right.
So I was going around. I was like, I did. My biggest my biggest problem was marrying and not understanding that we had two different aspects. Some people have life goals, like a bucket list. I want to be married. I want to buy a house and all that. And since they have a bucket list, you just fit into a list. You weren't special to them. And I was in that situation.
And so I was just asking because I want first. This conversation has been about single women, so I'm just trying. As a man, what perspective are you bringing to the table? And then I also know that I have single women who, I know some single women that are single. So of course I'm gonna ask for them. I'm not asking for me. For those that were saying no, I'm asking for other people that I know that are single. You know what I'm saying? So no, I'm dating someone.
So they can make it live so they can see.
Yeah.
Okay, good. All right.
Yeah.
Cool. All right.
No, but we definitely are going to have to do a part 2 of this show because
That'd be great.
we have not. We got a couple.
Scratched the surface. I mean, we had a lot of conversation here today, which is great conversation.
Oh, let's ask that one last
yeah,
question.
One last question.
Black men, yeah.
Do black men still value family and black women from your perspective?
I believe
And
so.
I know we can't speak for all, but
Right.
Okay.
But I believe so because, at least those in my age bracket, because they want, all of a sudden.
What's your age bracket?
I'm 45.
Okay.
So do you date women much younger or
No,
right
I've
at the same
no,
age?
It has to be kind of life equivalent.
Okay.
I couldn't imagine.
Equivalent. That's important.
Right. So, when it comes to like at my age, then guys are start worrying about legacy, passing on information to the kids and stuff like that. So they do, but it takes a while to get there. And this whole terminologies that we got used to, that's my baby mama. That hurt us. That hurt us, because it meant I could have a child with you without ever being a father, without being a husband, without being family. I could just, as long as the little man got shoes and food, then that was sufficient, but that's not. Fathering is what keeps kids from going to jail and prison and all that stuff. But also fathering is being there in a relationship so you see both sides.
Yeah.
Stepfathers don't do it,
Yeah, that's good. So I have one question. I'll have everybody answer, and then I think we're going to start moving to wrap up. And we always end our shows with a final thought, but this is a question before the final thought. What do you really want out of a man? What do you really want? And try to be as concise as you can. What do you really want? Think about that. And then be prepared to answer that. Go ahead, Cassie.
Right now, right?
Go ahead. No,
You
we
ready?
talking. We rolling. Go ahead and take the mic.
You're contemplating.
Go ahead. Cassie's ready. What do you want, Cassie?
I have decided that I want someone that is going to treat me good. Treating me good, I can be specific with him, like being able to say I'm sorry, being able to help me grow as a woman, able to fight fairly.
Yes.
Ooh, that's good.
Not afraid to say I love you in action and in words in any setting. Yeah. And I want a man that has a relationship with God. I was speaking to a friend last night, and one thing that was very poignant that he said, and am trying to pay close attention to what people say and then line it up with what they do. And he said one of the things that he failed at is when he should have prayed with his wife, he didn't. And that he's making a point that whoever he gets with, that we're going to have to pray together and together. So starting off with that foundation gives a lot of security and grit to the relationship. And I think it does take work to be healthy mentally and physically. And it has to be a choice, absolutely. So I'm confident at this stage in my life that I do know what I want. I just got to keep my promises to myself.
Yeah. That's good, Cassie. Thank you. Michelle, what do you want?
So I guess just to expound on what we had spoken about earlier, like Cassie said, definitely number one for me is that your relationship with God. We have to be growing in our relationship with God. It can't be something that's stagnant. I want somebody who's a team player. I don't want to bounce things off of you and your constant or your immediate response is no. I think that we have to grow together. I think that we have to be able to communicate. I don't know. Those are just a couple of things, I guess, on my list. Open-minded. You have to be somebody who's open-minded. So
Good.
that's really what I can think of right
Okay.
now.
Miss Natalie.
Natalie.
Hey, girl, it's okay. Yeah, I'm here for you.
You here for me, sis? Count on me through thick and thin.
You better sing, girl.
Okay.
All right.
No, I guess being all the way honest, I guess I'm still, trying to figure out me, and I think in figuring out me, that's going to help me know more confidently what it is exactly I want from a man. I honestly feel like right now, for me, I'm just trying to figure out me. And I think that's why I've had so many failed relationships, because Natalie doesn't really know Natalie like she should. But if I just have to give what it is I would like for my future man, a husband, to have, first and foremost, he has to love God. And like you said, have some sort of relationship with God. Consistency, open-mindedness as well. Have a love for children, because I'm a package deal. I have a little boy. He's really a young man now. He's 13. So he has to be able to, love my child like his own. And respect for me, because if I'm giving respect, you got to be able to respect me as well. And like I said, that list for me is growing, because I'm still learning Natalie and still taking the steps it takes to be a better Natalie. So for me to expect anything out of a man, I have to be able to have those same aspects as well for myself. So
Very good.
yeah.
Tia, what do you
no,
want?
Sassy. I'm asking the question. Sassy, what do you want?
What do you want, girl?
I'm doing this. So what do you want?
I ain't forget who you was.
Love you, girl.
I just want to make sure you answer the question.
I'm gonna answer the question. Go ahead, Sassy.
And then are you gonna ask him what he wants from a woman? Okay.
Yeah. I'm gonna ask you, and then we'll
Yeah,
get
okay.
to you, and then I'll bring this thing
Here
home.
it is. I'll break it down. Really.
Break it on down.
The at this stage is someone that values family. I made a vow I would never put my mother or grandmother into a nursing home, so it would have to be someone that we'd be able to. I'd take care of their parents when they're older, and then help me take care of mine. It all matters about us. Having a mutual respect, financial goals, accountability, transparency. We talk about this. Putting God first. That's got to be quantified, not just simply you have a faith or religion. It's got to be those things connect. We have to worship together, and if we can't worship together, we couldn't be together. That matters. We can't be divided on that.
Yeah.
You got to worship together at the same church. Is that what you're saying?
No, but you would, if we're going to be together, we need to worship together. Because worshiping together that's intimacy. That's feeding. We need. If I'm over
I'm just
at such and
clarifying
such church and someone is at another, and you can give the appearance that you're a single man just because you're in church by yourself. I would rather have mine with me. I waited too long for you to show up for you to go elsewhere.
Come on first Sunday.
Yeah, there you go. Come in and just mark your territory. Don't just mark your territory. Just making sure that the Sister Johnson know that you got me.
That's right.
So
she's looking at you. Listen, Johnson, no.
Yeah, she know his wife, but they ain't doing too good. She don't come.
She don't never come. Where she
they
at?
will tell it.
Yeah.
Visitors, this
I'm
your first
gonna hold my comments to myself about that.
Yeah. So no, but any mature man, you're talking about if God is first. I mean, if that's the church you're connected, you're an integral part of your worship, you're part of the worship service, whatever it is. If you're just not an attendee every so often, there wouldn't be any reason why somebody couldn't join and connect where you are. But also, when it comes to, you got mutual goals when it comes to taking care of yourselves, because by not taking care of yourself health-wise, that's a real challenge on the relationship later as well. You watch anyone that has to have pills Monday through Friday, 4 or 5 of them, and then we got doctor's appointments all the time, and you're breaking down, all because we didn't make better decisions, Yeah. So those things matter.
Oh, yeah.
That's good. Okay, Sassy.
Oh, you asking me what I want?
Yeah, what do you want? What do you want?
I think for me, I want somebody who's consistent. Consistency is huge. A theme in my life has been security. So someone who provides a sense of security, emotionally, physically, financially, and then someone who respects me, someone that I can show them my wounds. I wrote not too long, about a couple of years ago, I wrote a letter to my future husband, and in that I say, if I show you my wounds, I want you to still be there and not run. So somebody who I can show my wounds to, and they're there and they love me unconditionally. Mm-hmm. So when it boils, for me, basically to sum it up, is I want unconditional love. And I know that's might be hard to find because we are, as a people, very conditional. I love you when you do me right. But I think to me, the greatest example of love is still being able to love somebody in spite of their junk and their stuff and what they bring to the table.
So I'll answer the question, what do I want? I want a man that's vulnerable. That's my word. That's my word for the year for myself. I want him to be vulnerable and not afraid to be open with me and know that he can trust me, that I won't hurt him with what he shares with me, and that we will grow together. Right? Because as you said, none of us are perfect. I want somebody that says, I'm willing to do this work with you. Even on the days that it ain't cute, I'm willing to do this work with you no matter what. And I'm willing to stay open and communicate what that looks like. I want a man to emotionally protect me and nurture me. I don't want him to leave me out there to hurt by myself. I want him to emotionally protect me and nurture me. And I want him to be just interested in me. Right, like me, like I just dig you. I dig who you are. I dig everything about you, and I'm willing to support you. Yeah, I'm just willing to support that, and I'm gonna be your cheerleader. But I'm gonna tell you the truth too. I'm gonna tell you when you're wrong. Yeah. I'm gonna tell you, and we're gonna work together to get better. That's what I want. That's exactly what I am looking for. And I won't talk about all the physical things because God knows, but that's what I'm looking for in a partner.
List to my list too.
I know, right?
Yeah. I think we all want somebody that's vulnerable and that's supportive and just wants you.
Yeah, and they just want you, and that he's not looking for the better model. He's not looking to see who else can I get out here. That he is happy with you and willing. Yeah, that's willing to work it out with you. I'm in this for the long haul, committed. It's you. Let's do this. Even when it's hard. I'm not bailing out. Let's do this. That's who I'm looking for. And he's looking for me.
And I believe he is. And you made me think about something that I have had that I should expect from my mate is a friend.
Yeah.
And so sometimes we skip that. We can be friends. We can laugh. at people, at each other, and have fun together.
Exactly.
And that's